here you see President Trump walking up to the podium. Let's listen.
I've been up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. And just like we did on our southern border, nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is... Okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C., 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication. There was a story about a man who was just left because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that. But he was asked by the city, I guess, that we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before. I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way. Because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We're the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. In the nation's...
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Okay, the name of this lesson is Federal Forces and Police Take Over Washington, D.C. Okay, you know, and Trump, and the Lord, you know, is fed up of all the wickedness, what these jakes done. Okay, you know, scoffing at the many Lord and whatnot. Okay, okay, you know, so now the Lord using Trump now, you know, to come after for all the niggas, okay, who in the hood. Okay, Lord is fed up of all it. So let's get this precept. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 19. Or Slakia verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, you know, which going into the military checkpoints, what, you know, what soon gonna come. Okay, verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, that's, you know, so because of their pride, you know, these jakes' pride, all their wickedness, you know, men running around in red dresses, you know, in the New Orleans, the Lord gonna punish them. Okay, the Lord is tired of all the jakes. Okay, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, these jakes gonna be afraid, you know, because he saw coming, saw the Lord coming for all day on the left hand side. Okay, you know, let's get this another precept. Let's go in the Blue Letter Bible. This is Isaiah Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 7, it says, "The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh." Okay, all these jakes who was enjoying themselves. Okay, verse 8, "The mirth of the tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth." Okay, joy of the heart ceaseth. Verse 9, it says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Okay, going back into the and the city is Babylon. City is Babylon, the great America. Okay, and you're gonna have curfews too. You're not gonna be able to come out of your house. Okay, verse 11, it says, "There is a cry for wine in the streets," which this wine is going into the truth. Okay, who all these jakes, who was mocking and scoffing, gonna wish they had it, but the door's gonna be closing in. Okay, all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. Verse 12, "In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction." Okay, so let's get this is Zephaniah chapter 1. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 11. Okay, it says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." Okay, all these jakes who love money, they're not gonna have none. Okay, verse 12, it says, "And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search out Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their hearts, The Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore the goods shall become a booty, their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink them." The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Okay, Jacob's trouble is coming soon. Okay, for all them Jake. Okay, verse 15, it says that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fence. Okay, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Verse 17, I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Okay, a lot of these Jakes going to be killed. Okay, verse 18, it says, "Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land." Okay, all these jakes who feel the money gonna save them is gonna come to naught. Okay? It's gonna come to naught. So the Lord is coming for these jakes. The Lord gonna use his sword on the left hand side. Okay, this is Psalms 17 and verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Okay, which is the Lord using Trump. Trump is the Lord's sword on the left hand side. Okay, Trump coming for these wicked jakes. Okay, the Lord is using him. All right, so great, so all this stuff is coming. Okay, all this stuff coming. So let's get this. Matthew, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." Okay, great tribulation coming upon the earth soon. Okay, Jacob's trouble. Okay, all these AI, robots, super soldiers, all this stuff what Esau making, it coming. All this stuff coming. Okay, verse 22, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened." Only the elect of the nation of Israel, gonna be safe in that time. Okay. Let's go in the Apocrypha. Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? Okay, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, so all these things gonna come, Jacob trouble. Okay, and the Lord is bringing judgment upon these jakes for all the wickedness. Okay, the Lord is fed up. So I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Wa Abad Babal Shalom.